How did you guys feel about the theme of immaturity? Because actually, like fulfilling like Hellboy, like how did you feel like that was executed in this film?
It's very central to the movie, right? Like the entire thing is about Hellboy not growing up or having to grow up or having to take responsibility for his actions, having to confront his nature and having to make a choice and having to make the mature decision that goes beyond just what he wants, but rather what other people around him need and what the world needs. So I think it's really central, and I think this movie really has stood up as well as it has, despite some of the effects being a bit dated, like the battle at the end against the Chaos God is like a PS3 cutscene, right? Like I think it looks cool, but it's clearly a 20-year-old CGI sequence. But I think what makes the movie hang together is the character, right? That all of these characters are very strongly characterized, and you know what their deal is, and you know what their conflicts are, and you know what choice they're making and why.
Mm.
And at that point, it almost doesn't matter how it looks, because we care about these people. If you're on board at all with these characters, then you're with them in their journey until the end.
Yeah, no, I agree. But to be fair, with his purpose, he just kind of like found out about his purpose, though. So could we really say that was him being immature? Or could you argue that, okay, that's just him kind of like, he just found out about something, so he kind of has to kind of like, it has to take time for him to kind of settle in with the truth and make a decision, because he didn't really have time to actually think about it and make a decision. So can we really say that was just him being immature about the way that he handled it? Or you could say that was like a genuine human reaction, an adult reaction, because most adults they'll kind of like deal with it the way that he dealt with it.
No, but I think his immaturity is a character trait that he has in the beginning and then overcomes over the course of the story. And he also has these constant things about the world that rejects him. He has to hide from the world. And Manning constantly tells him that he's a monster. And Manning has the speech about when you've killed all the monsters, there's still one left, right? Mm-hmm. That sort of thing. And he's constantly he constantly has this idea reinforced that he doesn't belong, right? That the only one who was really family was Professor Broom, and he dies halfway through the movie. And everybody else is a colleague or a friend, but not family, right? And then somebody comes along and offers him ultimate power and purpose and belonging. And for a second, he's tempted. But then he has to do the right thing and reject it. So the whole thing about the destiny and Rasputin's bargain, I think, is not really... It comes in at the end, but it's the culmination of this character arc of, will he do what's right even though nobody will thank him for it? Right? So I think it works based on that.
Okay. How did you guys feel about the last act? So, because the scene, it felt a bit, for me personally, like when Liz came back from the dead, it kind of felt a bit rushed. Not rushed, but it didn't really feel fully fleshed out, because it was a bit strange how she died. Because the villain technically took her soul. So then when he died, I was like, okay, maybe the way that she came back was because he died and then her soul went back into her body. But that was kind of like rushed out. But just in general, sorry, that was just one of my, grievances with the film. But how did you guys feel about the final act?
So I adore this movie, right? But I think the end is a little bit hand-wavy, where it's just the power of friendship, right? Where basically Myers kind of just appeals to Hellboy's humanity, which is a gamble when you're talking to a literal devil. But
and then when he gave him the cross as well, I was like, wait, that was a bit crazy.
Well, that was again reinforcing this difference between who Hellboy is as a person and what his nature is, right? Because the cross hurts him because he's a devil, but it reminds him of his family.